brought to my attention. Okay, so first and foremost, we want to start right here. She, speaking of Hathor, right? This is the let me scroll up, show you what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? We remember this article right here about HORNED, the house of horrors, HATHOR, Egyptian goddess, as well as a Shemitic goddess. Okay, so now this is what the article say. She is the queen of the four corners. Right? She is the queen of the four corners of the universe. I just find that crazy. You know what I'm saying? In the ancient goddess religion, the cross is used often to point to the four corners of the universe. This is also known as symbolism in the New Testament. Okay? Her holy tree is the maple tree. The turquoise mines in the Sinai, also a Hathor temple was present. Certainly the Hebrew Hapiru temples must have known this temple. The Moses, Aaron, Miriam religion had the calf as a holy animal. What happened in Exodus, which is also holy to Hathor, right? So no, they were getting into Hathor worship though. She is depicted with the head of a lion, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, and a uraeus, whatever, that's that sun disk. Sometimes she was depicted with horns. Remember the horns with the cow goddess. We're gonna build on that. And the moon was upon her head. Her holy animal was the cow, right? In many places she is depicted in four images. The lioness, protector of life, the cow, the goddess of love and rebirth, the fertility goddess, right? The cat, the protector of families and the royal foster mother. The cobra, the goddess of beauty and youth, right? The snake was a holy animal of the ancient goddess civilized. Okay, the snake was a holy animal of the ancient goddess civilization far before ancient Egypt. All right, so the snake, you feel what I'm saying, is the snake and the cow are two distinct symbols of this god right here. You know what I'm saying? But remember, you know what I'm saying, she is also conjoined with Baal, so she is Baalat. You know what I'm saying? And her husband is Baal, just like Hathor, husband is Horus or Ra. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so now check this out right here, right? Moses was wearing cow horns. Quran. I'm gonna read this again. I read it in the first video, but we're gonna dig on this. Moses was wearing cow horns. Quran. Alright, on his head, according to the original Hebrew text. See also the statue of Moses by Michelangelo. Aaron made a golden calf at Mount Sinai, which indicates a relation with Hathor religion. The altar of the Hebrew temples had cow horns, right, on the corners. That's interesting, man. Just like all this stuff is interesting when you really look at it. Very surely the original religion of the Hebrew tribes was a Hathor religion. Very certain this type of altars was also destroyed by the Yahweh group. Anyway, in archaeological excavations, these destroyed altars have been found. Another important symbol for the Hebrew religion was the snake, which is one of the four symbols of Hathor. Moses had a rod with a snake on it, while the Hebrews were living in the Exodus out of ancient Egypt. Okay, the snake on the rod of Moses is seen by Protestants as an image of Christ giving salvation to believers, because whoever looked at the snake healed of the poison and would not die. See the story of the Old Testament. All right, so we got some interesting things here, man. One thing you need to note is that two of the four symbols of Hathor, house of horrors, right? This goddess is the snake and the cow horns, right? Okay, so they say Moses was wearing cow horns, and they give us this word right here, Quran, all right? And they tell us that just to see also the statue of Moses by Michelangelo. So that's what we're finna do. Okay, so Moses, Michelangelo, alright? See the statue, man. You see, boy, he's depicted with horns. Okay, the Moses is a sculpture by the Italian high Renaissance artist Michelangelo Buonarroti. What a name, you know what I'm saying? Housed in the Church of Saint Pietro in Vincoli in Rome, commissioned in 1505 by Pope Julius II for his tomb. It depicts the biblical figure Moses with horns on his head, based on a description in chapter 34 of Exodus and the Vulgate, the Latin translation of the Bible used at that time. Okay, so that's interesting, man, but we're going to get into this. So you got the description right here, right? So in the description, we're going to get to the horns part. We're going to read some of this. Okay, you see right here, Michelangelo's Moses detailed with horns. Okay, following the iconographic convention common in Latin Christianity, the statue has two horns on his head. The depiction of a horned Moses stems from the depiction of Moses' face as cornuta, horn, in Latin Vulgate translation of the passage found in Exodus chapter 34, specifically the verses 29, 30, and 35, in which Moses returns to the people after receiving the commandments for the second time. The Douay-Rheims Bible translates as Vulgate. Translates the Vulgate as, and when Moses came down from Mount Sinai, he held the two tablets of the testimony, and he knew not that his face was horned from the conversation of the Lord. Right? This was Jerome's effort to faithfully translate the difficult original Hebrew Masoretic text, which used the term Quran, based on root Karen, which means horns. The term is now interpreted to mean shining or emitting rays, somewhat like horn. Okay. Although some historians believe that Jerome made an outright error, Jerome himself appears to have seen Karen as a metaphor for glorified, based on other commentaries he wrote, including one in Ezekiel where he wrote that Moses' face had become glorified, or as it says in the Hebrew, horn. The Greek Septuagint, which Jerome had also available, translated the verse as Moses knew not the appearance of the skin of his face was glorified. In general, medieval theologians, and scholars understood that Jerome had intended to express the glorification of Moses' face by his use of the word horn. The understanding that the original Hebrew was difficult and was not likely to literally mean horns persisting into and through the Renaissance. Okay, so let me see. Okay, let me see if there's anything here we want. But alright, so as I said, so when we look, they say Moses is wearing horns, Quran, get that word again according to the Hebrew text. We're gonna dig on that word. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go over here to this Strong's Concordance in the Hebrew and Greek lexicon. And we're going to type in the word horn. And we're going to see what we get. Okay, we get these right here. Blast of a horn. Trumpets, okay. Well, but we get the main. We get these three right here, right? Quran. Alright. A horn. Okay, a flask, a cornet, by resembling an elephant's tooth, a corner of the altar, a peak of the mountain, okay, Quran, Aramaic, corresponding to horn, literally for sound, horn, corner. Alright, so, but this one right here, the Hebrew Strong 7161, we're going to dig into that. Let's see. Okay, so this one, right, Quran, right? Quran. Horn of strength, flash, horn of rays of light here. You get all these definitions, but what's funny about this is because of the language, like the similarity of words. Okay, they're going to show us all the times that this word is used in Exodus, right? Now, before I show you guys that I read that, I just want to come back to this real quick. Because we know the cow horns, right, is a symbol of the goddess. But check this out, right? It says she is the queen of the four corners of the universe. One of her symbols is the cow horns. Right? And our people was getting into her worship in the Exodus, you know what I'm saying? When we was tripping, you know what I'm saying? But check this out though, man, because I just find this language kind of crazy. In Exodus 27:2, you find the word where it says, "And thou shalt make the horns of it upon the four corners thereof. His horn shall be of the same, and thou shalt overlay it with brass." Okay, 29:12 say, "And thou shalt take the blood of the bullock and put it upon the horns of the altar with thy finger." Okay, let me see. I want some of that language. Okay, Exodus 38:2. "And he made the horns thereof on the four corners. The horns thereof were of the same and were overlaid with brass." Okay, so on the corners of the altar, they place horns. They place horns on the four corners of the altar. You know what I'm saying? I find that funny. But as you see, when we clicked on Exodus and they gave us the 8 verses that had that translation of the word Quran in it, a Karen, you know, for horns, it didn't give us anything saying that Moses had, you know what I'm saying, horns, or the verse in Exodus chapter 34 about him coming down from Mount Sinai. But that's very interesting, man, because we're going to dig into the Bible verses. Alright, so we're going to come over here to the East Ward, you know what I'm saying, and I recommend everybody get this app on their computer, man, because it's a very, very helpful tool. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to go to Exodus chapter 34, right? Oh, Moses makes new tablets. And they told us 29, 30, and 35, so we can go to those verses. The shining face of Moses. Alright, so this is what it says in 29 and 30. "And it came to pass when Moses came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the testimony in Moses' hand, he came down from the mount, that Moses was not, that the skin of his face shone while he talked with him." Okay, and in 30 it say, "And when Aaron and the children of Israel saw Moses, behold, the skin of his face shone," or, you know, shone, like show or shine, you know what I'm saying? "And they were afraid to come nigh." Alright, we're going to jump down a little bit and get 35. "And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that the skin of Moses' face shone, and Moses put the veil upon his face again until he went in to speak with them." Alright, so, but let's go to the Britain Septuagint, you know what I'm saying, and get their translation up. Yes. Okay. So we're going to go down to verse 29 and 30, right? And it say, "And when Moses went down from the mountain, there were the 2 tablets in his hand, in the hands of Moses. As he went down from the mountain, Moses knew not the appearance of his skin, of his face was glorified." So here it say glorified, like the wicked tab said, when God spoke to him. "And Aaron and all the elders of Israel saw Moses, and the appearance of the skin of his face was made glorious, and they feared to approach him." Alright, verse 35. "And the children of Israel saw the face of Moses, that it was glorified, and Moses put the veil over his face till he went in to speak with him." Okay, so we got the Britain Septuagint and the King James. Let's get the Douay, however you pronounce it, Douay Rhymes Bible. The reason why I feel it's interesting to look into this Bible is because I think it was written before the 1611. I think this Bible was constructed in the 1500s, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere early like that. Okay, so check out what it say in 29 and 30. "And when Moses came down from the Mount Sinai, he held the 2 tablets of the testimony, and he knew not that his face was horned from the conversation of the Lord. Right? And Aaron and the children of Israel, seeing the face of Moses horned, were afraid to come near. Alright? And they saw that the face of Moses, when he came out, was horned, but he covered his face again if at any time he spoke to them. Alright, so yeah, that's crazy, right? This translation saying that his face was horned. But like I say, you remember when they just showed that the translation for Quran didn't show up in this chapter. But I find that kind of funny because when you go to the King James version with the Strongs, let's see. Right? It's the King James version, not the Douay rounds or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So we go to 2029, right? And we're just looking for where it says either glorified or shown, but it says shown in the King James. So we're gonna look at the Strongs for that. And look what you get. You get Quran. To push, to push or gore, used only as the denominator from H7161, right, to shoot out horns. Figurative raise, have horns, shine, right? So as you can see, you know what I'm saying, like even the article was telling us, hold on, let me get it. Right here where it say Moses was wearing horns, Quran, alright, on his head according to the original Hebrew text. Okay, we can see that the word is in there because when his face shone, they put shine and shone because they changed it like they said they did. The primitive root of it was shoot out horns. Now I know that sounds crazy. You might think like, well, why would God do that? Why would he go up there to the mountain Sinai? You know what I'm saying? And the Most High, like, make horns come out of his head. Like, that don't sound like the Most High do. But just think about it, though. You feel what I'm saying? Just think about it. Okay? When the children of Israel was in the wilderness, they got bit. The rebellious ones got bit by venomous serpents. You know what I'm saying? They got bit by venomous serpents, right? Not only did they get bit by venomous serpents, they had to get healed by a serpent stab. You feel what I'm saying? So, I mean, I just find that crazy. Like, what also inflicted them, was also the salvation. You know what I'm saying? So when you think about it, when Moses went up to the mountain of Sinai, the children of Israel, being impatient and stiff-necked, created a golden calf to worship, right? Leading back to the Hathor worship that was in Egypt. You feel what I'm saying? So they in the area, because remember, it also tell you when you look up Hathor alone that she is the goddess that was worshipping the mines of Mount Sinai. So they went in Mount Sinai. They went into Hathor worship with the calf. You feel what I'm saying? Then the Most High get hot. You feel me? Most High say, man, Moses, man, go down there and look what these folks doing. You feel what I'm saying? They down there worshiping calves and stuff. That's probably why the Most High got darn, you know what I'm saying, turned up and made Moses like face shine with horns, because they was worshiping horn goddess. So they came, okay, you want to worship horn goddess? Well, I'm going to send my prophet, my lawgiver down there and worship him. You feel what I'm saying? Since these the gods that led you out of Egypt, you know what I'm saying, these horn goddess, this what you want to do, you know what I'm saying, worship him or something like that. You feel what I'm saying? Just to show the children of Israel his power, like, you know what I'm saying, like he's not the one to be, you know what I'm saying, fooled up with. You feel what I'm saying? Like it say, when it's, let me go back to the Great Rhymes Bible. You know what I'm saying? And his face was horned from the conversation of the Lord. And Aaron and the children of Israel, seeing the face of Moses horned, was afraid to come near. So now they scared. You worshiping a God with horns, but now you see your brethren come out down the mountain with horns, and now you scared because you knew you were doing something you ain't had no business. You feel what I'm saying? And like it say, Aaron had everybody naked to show their shame. So you knew you were doing some stuff you ain't had no business. Now Moses done came down on this mountain with the law, with the horn. You feel what I'm saying? You know, then war was amongst the camp. Moses Gave a decree, whoever want to stand up for the Most High, you come with me. Only the tribe of Levi stood up. You feel what I'm saying? So these jokers, just Moses and the tribe of Levi alone, went and slaughtered 3,000 something Israelites. You feel what I'm saying? So it got real, man. So the Most High was just showing, like, you know, he ain't playing. Like the thing that can be your downfall can also give you salvation. You feel what I'm saying? Just like the Bible, bro. Like, you see how we digging in this Bible, how deep it really is. But this thing is also trapping millions of minds into religion, and, you know, as the weapon of colonization. You feel what I'm saying? It got a lot of our people's minds trapped, but at the same time, it'll give you life if you got ears to hear and eyes to see. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of peep how, like, that little I guess polarity and paradox kind of plays out in history. Now, considering all of that, man, I just want to look at some of these petroglyphs that's in the Four Corners region, because we got Hathor worship, right, in the wilderness and around Moab, and, you know what I'm saying, things like that. And the goddess of the calf worship is the goddess of the four corners of the universe. Her symbol is horns. We put horns on the four corners of the altar. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's hijacking. I don't know. You know, that way you gotta. I don't. You know, I ain't gonna. That's up for y'all. But I just wanted to just show y'all some of these petroglyphs, man. Look at this, right? Remember what the article said. Let's go back to it. It was talking about I know it's up here somewhere. Hold on. Let me find it. Okay, so here you go. Right here, you know, Hathor was respected in Babylon, Lebanon, with the name Baalat, right? So, as you can see, where is that? Like right here. Baalat, right? Baalat, right? So you got Baal and his wife, Baalat, like Baal and Ashtoreth. Remember what I told you, Hathor is Ashtoreth. So they're telling you Hathor is Baalat, right? And she is also Ashtoreth, so you know it's referring to the same God. But hold on, because we remember this right here. Okay, this article, Ancient Egypt Online.co.uk, about Hathor. Remember what it said, first thing it said in the first paragraph? She was originally a personification of the Milky Way, right? So the Milky Way was a symbol, because remember what? She's the cow goddess. So the Milky Way, right, which was considered to be the milk that flowed from the udders of a heavenly cow. I mean, just think about it. I just thought about it. The Milky Way. Think about the name. The Milky Way. Remember, the Egyptians had the female goddess stretched across them, like hovering over them, to be the firmament, the dome, right, that housed all the stars, right? So basically, she is the Milky Way. Like they telling you that, you know, the mother goddess, she is the house of Ra, right? The sun is in space or in the sky, however you want to look at it, and the house of the sun is in her. So she's the Milky Way, but she's the cow goddess. Out of the udders of the heavenly cow flow the milk, right? She's the goddess of the opening, right? That's why they say the sun is a portal, you know. But also look at the Milky Way. When you look at that spiral, it's like a portal, right? Because this is the Milky Way. Remember we looked at it? You know what I'm saying? This is the Milky Way. Now also look at something. See how they got this right here like that? Now we talking about Hathor being represented as the Milky Way. Put a cross right there, because remember she's the goddess of the four corners of the universe. So look at that, because we see that symbolism, right? Because when we go back to the four corner petroglyphs, look at this. You feel me? These spirals, man, they everywhere. So you got the horned goddess, you got a Baal Peor, or a Baal a Hathor, you know what I'm saying, however you want to look at it. with the opening, with the Milky Way represent, like, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy, man. I mean, not only that, man, it's so much cattle that's on these petroglyphs. Like this, what I was saying right here, right? The cross represented what? Let's go back to it. She was the queen of the four corners of the universe. The ancient goddess religion, the cross, is used to often point to the four corners of the universe. Alright? So, you know, you got this spiral of this target right here, in the four corners region. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. This is too much. But yeah, man. Just think about, like, this is the place of, if this is a particular place of that worship, they're sacrificing cattle. I mean, just look at what the heck is going on right here, man. I mean, look at that. You know what I'm saying? Just glyphs about cattle, horns, rams. You know what I'm saying? Then you know people probably bringing up rams and cattle to sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? So they can get some horns and put them jokers on their heads. You know, all kind of stuff, man. Because remember, you know the story about the ant people, right? Look at this right here. The Hopi Indian. You know what I'm saying? Putting them horns on their head and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I just find a lot of this stuff crazy, man. Look at this. I mean, come on, man. You can get that on in there. Like, alright. So let's play this clip.
Local Native American
lore, Lex played in this video.
have lived in the Great Canyon area for thousands of years. They have a legend that tells the story of the ant
See the serpent?
during times of
And see the horns?
helped the Hopi and escorted them into subterranean caves where they found.
So they helped them. The ant people helped these Hopi Indians or whoever, you know, on this legend, and transported them into subterranean caves, right? Transported them into subterranean caves, and then listen to what he's gonna say. Help provided them with food, taught them food and storage, and also one important thing. In refuge. Like they say, see the horn?
Gave the Hopi food and taught them all about food storage.
Okay.
Also, let's bring this interesting bit of information.
Now that's interesting, man, because they say these ant people came and, you know, were very generous, taught about food and storage and stuff like that, and how to get up and hire refuge for shelter. Now, let me take you to this article I found, right? We're gonna do some more digging on these ant people, right? Because as you can see, you know what I'm saying, these ant people got horns, and they also associated with this spiral here, this target, as well as like you can see in this picture, this one got the serpent and the horn, right? It's got a tail too, like they say, it could represent the devil or something like that. But think about it, man. I mean, this Baal worship. Baal is another name for Satan. You feel what I'm saying? So if it's in this area, the particular Baal, the particular Satan worship is Baal Peor, Hathor, or you know what I'm saying, whatever. Like, I just find this crazy. So like I say, let's jump over here to this. All right, this says the ant hills of Orion, ancient star beings of the Hopi. Who are the ant people? All across the American Southwest, we find petroglyphs, rock carvings, or pictographs, rock paintings, depicting the entities with spindly bodies, large eyes, and bulbous heads that sometimes project antennas. These eerie figures are frequently shown in a prayer stance, right? Their elbows and knees positioned at right angles, similar to the ant's bent leg. Alright, so like they say, they talking about ant people this and ant people that, but hey, we ain't, you know, it is what it is. We just looking at it how we looking at it, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at this person. This person got horns. They ain't got no goddamn bent up legs. It's like a person with horns. You feel what I'm saying? So, we're gonna keep it moving, man. There's something very interesting in this article, though. Right, as above, right? We're gonna read somewhere right up in here. Okay? Right here, we're gonna start right here. It says the Hopi word for ant is anu. Alright, so check that out. The Hopi word for ant is anu. In the same language, naki means friend, prayer feathers, food offerings, or sand, a nexus of concepts pertaining to this insect that sometimes flies. A combination of the two words Anunnaki, or ant friend, right, may be related to Stitchin's Anunnaki. The Babylonian sky god was also named Anu, right? Showing up was. One Sumerian cylinder seal from around 2250 BC shows the pantheon of primary deities wearing peaked hats. The Hopi sky god Sotuk Nang, closely associated with the earth god Masau, also wears pointed headdresses. Like their Middle Eastern counterparts, these American Indian divinities were present at the creation of the universe and continue to be an instrument in the cultural development. Alright, so so this way you get the Shemitic part of the worship right here. You know what I'm saying? In the reference, right? To Anu means ant. Right? Now check this out. Okay? This is where the Hermetic perspective come in. Anu, or Danu, was the appellation of the Celtic mother goddess. Alright, that's important. And the patroness of the dead. Remember, she's also the god of the dead. In addition, Anu was another name for the Egyptian city of Heliopolis. Wow, look at this. Where the Ben stone of meteoric iron was kept. Furthermore, the Egyptian word Anu meant not only products, revenues, or something brought in, but as gifts, tributes, or offerings. This refers to both the ant's ability to store provisions and reference given to the ant people. Oh my goodness, bro. You can't, like, come on, bro. In any case, their influences go. So I just showed you in the video that Joseph's city, they say Joseph ruled an Egyptian city in the Grand Canyon. I just showed you that his city was the city of On. The city of On is Heliopolis. Heliopolis is the city of the sun, or the house of Heru, where this god, the main place of worship of this god is, with the horns and the snakes and the Milky Way signs. You feel what I'm saying? So like, you just finding all this there, bro. I don't find that no coincidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, they saying that the Egyptian word Anu meant not only products, revenues, or something brought in, but also gifts, tributes, and offerings. This refers to both ants' ability to store provisions and a reference given to the ant people. And these people over here say that the ant people came there and helped them out, because remember, Joseph was in Egypt during the time of famine, right? And he did things to try to, he went out and got new land so he can get food, and he brought food to a lot of people. Remember Jacob, I think he told his sons to go up to Egypt where Joseph is at, because there's grain up there, there's rice or something like that, you know what I'm saying? So they were definitely kicking out food. Joseph was, you know what I'm saying, because he was a blessed king, right? Heliopolis, city of the sun, Helio, right? Egyptian, IWNW, right? Okay. The ancient Egyptian cult center Iunu, occasionally spelled Anu, named On. Bam! Anu. You feel me? Iunu, or Anu, is mentioned in the pyramid text as the house of Ra, Beth Shemesh, right? Or Beth Peor, house of the Lord of Horus, or Ra. You feel what I'm saying? Which we're looking at it to be in that Grand Canyon region. So I mean, you're telling me that the Egyptian cult center for this house of Ra is called Anu, and then you also telling me that the Hopi word for ant is Anu, and that the Egyptian city of Heliopolis also means Anu, and that Anu is the word for product revenues and something brought in as gifts, tributes, and offerings. This is reference both to the ant's ability to store provisions and the reference given to the ant people. Then you tell me that the Hopi drew these because ant people came in and helped them and gave them food and put them up into, gave them refuge in the high cliffs. Let's get that little part right there.
Lived in the Grand Canyon area for thousands of years. They have a legend that tells the story of the ant people who, during times of disaster, helped the Hopi and escorted them into subterranean caves where they found refuge and food. The ant people were said to be generous.
So, as you heard, the ant people escorted the Hopi into subterranean caves and gave them refuge and food. So now, understanding that, I must go back to Jeremiah. Alright, I'm going to go to Jeremiah 47 first, because you can see what Most High was telling Jeremiah, you know what I'm saying, judgment on the Philistines, right? The word of the Lord came, the word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet against the Philistines before Pharaoh, right? You know what I'm saying? So, the word of the Most High was coming to Jeremiah, and was telling him to prophesy against these nations, right? Concerning their judgment. Now we go to chapter 48, and then he say judgment on Moab, and against Moab, thus saith the Lord the God of Israel, woe unto Moab. So he's going to give Moab its judgment. You know what I'm saying? So then, like I say, you jump down to verse 28, and you got him telling, O ye that dwell in Moab, leave the cities and dwell in the rock, that be like, it say, and be like the dove that maketh her nest in the sides of the hole's mouth. Right? Read again. And ye that dwell in Moab, leave the cities and dwell in the rock, and be like the dove that maketh her nest in the sides of the hole's mouth. Alright? So, if the ant people coming and, you know what I'm saying, transporting the Hopi into subterranean cave, and you even got prophecies telling the Moabites or whoever in that area to leave the cities and go in, like it say, dwell in the rock and be like the dove that maketh her nest in the sides of the hole's mouth. And like you got these type of dwellings right here in the four corners. I typed in Utah cliff dwellings. Like, I mean, come on, man. Look at that. Be like, it say, dwell in the rock and be like the dove that maketh her nest in the side of the hole's mouth. You feel me? I mean, come on, man. You even got, check this out. Look at this petroglyph right here. In Utah, USA, right? Look at this. Now, as you can see, he got the swirls all around him, right? Symbolizing what? The Lord of the opening, the Milky Way, Hathor, Het-Haru, the house of Horus, the city of On, Heliopolis. What? Could this be Joseph? I mean, don't it look Egyptian? I mean, look at this right here. Look at this this neck piece, or this, you know, this neck shoulder piece right here. You know what I'm saying? Go to Google, you type in Egyptian king. I mean, look at this. Now look at it. I mean, hold on. What? God. Because I don't know if this is what's going on right here. But look, you know this symbol right here, right? That little, those shepherd symbols that, I mean, those things they be holding. But look at this one. So you got the neck piece, and you got that. But you know, ain't nothing really, you know what I'm saying, on the body. So, you know, but this right here, so you got a neck piece, bombing, you got this piece, right? And they holding that. So, I mean, dang. I mean, just Look at that. You know what that is. You feel me? You talking about shepherd. You talking about a place with a lot of cattle. And a lot of cattle, petroglyphs. You know, ain't this the land where all the ranchers are? Mainly, you know, ranch land. Alright, look at this petroglyph right here, man.